Hey, good evening, everybody. So this is one of my Honeypot queens that I started back in July in a test tube. Started 4 queens that I all caught within 3 days of each other, same species. Put 4 in the mini hearth from Tar Heel ants, and I put 4 in. Actually, put more than 4 in a test tube setup, but there were 4 that I was keeping track of. Out of the 4 that I was keeping track of, I believe 2 died, and 2 I moved into mini hearth after ants started to eat clothes. I moved them into a mini hearth. This one, not a lot of mold in the test tube. May show you that in a second here. After I explain what's going on in front of you, besides the obvious, an ant drinking some honey. But the test tube about depleted its water supply, and it's just suction as the water supply. It just sucks that cotton all the way back. Not a lot of mold, but I thought it was time to move her. So a few days ago, I connected her to a mini hearth I had laying around, and just kept the light on and applied a little bit of heat. And she, after 3 or 4 days, she finally moved into the mini hearth, which was tonight. So about an hour ago, she finally moved over. So anyway, so I got her in the hearth, the foraging area, and I caught her back on July 18th, so she's had nothing. All the other successful ants that I caught in the same period of time all have, well, I retract that. I think 2 don't have a colony. I've got 2 very successful ones. I've got quite a few, the nick-nicks, and then two that nothing has come, and then one of the ants I started in the mini hearth died. But anyway, so put her in a mini hearth because she wasn't going to be able to really manage. She really had no brood to speak of. Water supply drying out, so let's get her over and do a mini hearth. First thing she's probably eaten since she had her nuptial flight. So, yeah, it's kind of rare. I mean, at least for me it is, to see these queens, even in this stage, come out of the nest. I believe these are fully claustral, so once they're in, they're in. Obviously hungry, so I left her a drop of slightly diluted honey. I come check her out. I was about ready to crash out. I am just worn out today. And she was out drinking, so I figured, doing improv video. And see if I can zoom in a little bit more. I think it's just, that's the best I'm going to do. Let's see if I can get focus here. Focus. So by all accounts, this is a honeypot queen. Can't pronounce the scientific name, so my apologies. And it's once they start their net, with all my colonies, the successful ones, I don't really like to harass the queens. I cover them up almost all the time. I'll open them up just to look at, but for the most part, I keep all my colonies covered. Trying to minimize the stress, and it's always easy to move them later on when they dislike light. It's easier to apply light, and they will move away from that, so you can kind of manipulate their movement. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling. You don't typically get to see the queens once a colony starts. I don't spend a lot of time looking at them, and once a colony starts to mature, there's ants covering them, and you get that rare glimpse every now and then, but you don't really get to see them much. And so that's why I thought this was kind of a cool video concept, just to spur of a moment. You get to check out the queen, nice close up. She's obviously hungry, so the light will probably bothering her. She's willing to accept it. I'm looking at her, and it almost looks like she's missing an antennae. I really haven't been paying attention, but now that I'm looking, like she's missing one of her antennae, so. Yep. I wonder what that does. I wonder if, that would play a role in the fact that she hasn't had any successful brood yet. I wonder. I should know this, but I don't. So, kind of know, the antennae is kind of a sensory, but as far as what it does to an ant that only has one, I wonder if, once she starts, if she's capable of starting a colony, the ants will kind of take care of her, but makes you wonder. Well, guys, it's 6 minutes in. I'm surprised she's actually still out here. I figured she would have dipped out, but she's obviously hungry, so I'll switch over real quick, show you the test tube, and then call it a video. So that's a test tube. Not super moldy. Usually at this stage you just see all kinds of mold, but she was running out of water, and some scattered eggs in there, but mixed in with feces. Not very promising. So I think it was probably a good move to move. I'm gonna show my little campanatus or whatever it is you guys name it. This is one of my, sorry, it's a mess here, but these guys are doing quite well. A little piece of wax paper that I put in there when I first moved her over, and I have not been able to get in there and clean it, but I'm not doing my tripod, I'm freehanding it. This was just but yeah, look at that. Nice little brood. These are little guys too. They are. Oh, and then I put them on an old talus I had. So there's a nest, but I put the atom in a talus, so they have a foraging area until I figure out what their new permanent home is going to be. So, anyway, all right, guys, calling it a video. Have a good night.